ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वां स्वस्तनूभिः विषेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्योरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। Yesterday, what we have discussed, some of the points I will try to repeat. The opponent asked, if you say that everything is unreal, then the Advaita, the monism also is unreal. Then the answer was given, we are not taking the support of logic or inference. We take the scriptures as valid proof, not the logic. Then he said, another point, Om becomes the means to attain the principle of the self. Atma tattva pratipatti upayatvam, the means to get this experience of the Atman. Objects are superimposed on the Atman, and the expansion of speech is superimposed on Om. All the objects are superimposed on Brahman. And all the expansion of the speech is superimposed on Om. And words are modifications of Om. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam. And the name is not different from the object. That is why when we utter the sound Om, we are, or we have to contemplate on the all-pervading, formless, adjectiveless Brahman.
Can I ask something? In the first sutra, when Adi Shankaracharya comments, he said, since the object expressed by name is not distinct from name. So, cow is not the word cow.
It
Because,
is an object.
right, cow is an object, but it is different from the name cow, because in other languages it will be called.
That's why I told the name pervades the object. How the objects pervades the name? This we have discussed through species. Cow is not a don't take the cow as a particular object. Cow, man, tiger, all these are species. It's a particular race. So the race also is having a particular name. Through race, the objects are equal to the name. Name is pervading the objects. Objects are pervading the name through race or species.
Yeah, but in different languages, the name will be different.
That's all right. What does it matter? See, and another thing I told, the creator Brahman, first he utters particular names and created particular species. This also yesterday I told. So, the particular species or the race or a particular object is not different from the name. Potter, for example, he want to make a pot. He want to make a pot. So first what he does, he thinks inside the picture of the pot, and then he creates outside. So first where was the pot? In the mind. It was only, it has manifested, you can say, it has come out, you can say, but everything is there in the Atma. In the same way, that's why yesterday we told this also, the Brahman is both material cause as well as instrumental cause, just like the spider. So everything is inside. We should not make any difference. Outside in the world, so many differences we see, but that everything is superimposed. That's why first I told we should take the support of the Shastras. Neha nanasti kinchana. There is no diversity. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Only Brahman alone is existing. That's why the knowledge comes through the scriptures. And in day-to-day life also we are experiencing that we are not taking any object or anything from waking state, in the dream or in the sleep. But we are happy. That's why we say Sat Chit Ananda. It is existing, it is full of knowledge, it is full of bliss, which our own self. So we need not search the bliss outside. We need not bother about outside things. Is that? So in that way we have to contemplate. And I told about this Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikhari, the 4 types of speech. Para is nothing but the support of everything, of all the names, that is, again, is equal to Brahman. And in some places, it was told, Sabda Purvika Srishti. The creation has started from the sound. Now we are having so many types of missiles, is it not? So all these things were there even at the time of Mahabharata. So just they used to chant Ram, and the arrows of fire used to come out. Like that. So the creation is from sound. And there is no object besides the sound. In the relative world, the Om is not pervading. The sound or the letter is not pervading in the relative plane. Om is the support of everything. Om is not different from the consciousness. Though the consciousness is all pervading, the relative world is superimposed. I told you, when there is a rope, then only you will see the snake. But in the seemingly snake, there is no rope. That's why he says the Om is not pervading the expansion. Huh? In the relative world, the Om is not pervading. Expansion of speech is pervaded by Om. Akaro savai sarva vak. That is the scripture. In Om we are having 3 letters, A, U, Ma, and the first letter is pervading in all the speech, in all the expansion of the speech. He says, Omkarena sarva vak santruna. It is here also. It is in Chandogya 2:23. And the ignorance which is undefinable is not limited by time, he says. Why we are seeing the world? Because of ignorance. Why we are attached to the body? Because of ignorance. Again come, only 2 things are there. We are attached to that which is ephemeral, that which is evading, which is unreal. Now he says, where from this ignorance has come? Because you say, I don't know. I have not realized. So it is within you. But this ignorance is not limited by time. That's why what I told, the ignorance is anadi, it is not started, it is not created. The Atman, the Ishvara, the ignorance, the Maya, all these things are eternal. They are there already. Then, after the creation, time has been created. That's why the time cannot limit the ignorance. Ignorance was already there. Ignorance is nothing but the power of Atman or Brahman. The sun and its rays are not different. The fire and the burning sensation of the fire are not different. The energy is within there. So how can you differentiate? But Atman is the cause for the time also. So, time cannot limit Atman. See, Atman is the cause for the time. I told, after creation, time is created. Actually, the Prajapati. Prajapati samvatsaro abhut. Has become the year, he says. So, the time cannot limit Atman. The effect cannot limit the cause. Effect is in limited area, parichinna in Sanskrit they say. And for Now you see, a peculiar thing the sub-commentator says, we need happiness. So for happiness, we collect money. But money is not the principal happiness, he says. Money is not the principal happiness. The main happiness. Money is secondary for happiness. And all the Swamis, you see, they give up everything. They never run after money. Rather, money run behind them. In the same way, if the object does not pervade the name, it becomes secondary. What is the secondary? It is called gauna. Money is not the principal happiness. For happiness. So if you lose money, you are unhappy. Money is secondary, gauna. In the same way, it says, if the object does not pervade the name, it becomes secondary. Name is pervading the object. If the object is not pervading the name, the object becomes secondary. That's why they say species, race. Just by one word he has created one particular species. 84 lakhs of species are there in the world. Not 1 lakh we have seen. The bacteria, the virus, the fungus, all these things we cannot see. But it affects. Through effect, we can infer the cause. And finally he told pada matra, matra pada. And the first, the 3 states are used as the means. 4th is used as the thing to be attained. This also is told. And about Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana also we have discussed. These are the some of the points from what we have discussed. Now, something about Sravana. I think last time I told you a story. How much you remember, I don't know. I too don't remember whether I have told or not. Whatever it may be. So, there is a particular person. He was not willing to hear anything about God. So, whenever some speeches are going on, Ramayana, Bhagavata, or something, Upanishad, simply used to close his ears. This you heard? No. So one day, he just heard one particular sentence of the speaker. Gods, they do come on the earth. Gods, they come on the earth. Earth. But their feet does not stand on the earth. This much he heard. Gods, they do come, but their feet is not on the earth. They are above the earth. This much he heard. Oh! Simply he closed his ears and went away. After a few days, in his own village town, there came a person and he is telling that I am the God. And village people, they are all guileless. So they started whatever he is asking, they are simply bringing and giving them. And the news has come to this fellow's house, one who don't want to hear. He says, what happened? Why people are running? He says, some God has come, a particular person. I said, let me see. So he went there and removed all the persons and saw the feet. Oh, he just gave a slap. What God you? What type of God you are? That fellow ran away. Leaving all the things. So now, what is the essence? The sound that he has heard has saved the village. The sound is having such an effect. Is it not? That is called Sravana. You may think the sound is not working within you, it does work. Kalantaren, even after some time. So, the sound is having such an effect. That's why yesterday also we discussed the Ratnakara, the Valmiki, the great robber became saint. That is some of the points from yesterday's speech. Now, page 306. So in the case of Turiya, the word pada is used as the thing attained. That is the object that we have to attain. Jnaya, jnaya it is called, not jnana, jnaya. Katham chatushpatvam ityaha. The Atman is not having any parts. And you are telling 4 parts. How is it? First question. Then he says, they are imaginary parts. There are no parts. We are imagining the parts. See. Kalpanika. Atman is indivisible, having no parts. How you can say 4 quarters? They are imaginary. And then, in this particular verse it comes, Jagrata sthano bahish prajna saptanga eko navinshati mukha sthula bhug vaisvanara prathama padha. The waking state, in the waking state, it says knowledge is outside, bahish prajna, having 7 limbs, 19 gates, and enjoying the gross objects. The self seated in the waking state and called Vaisvanara, possessed of consciousness of the exterior. Says the consciousness is exterior. 7 limbs, 19 mouths, enjoy the gross objects is the first quarter, he says. Now, consciousness of the exterior, bahish prajna, he says. I know that consciousness is within. How you are telling it is outside? Apparent. immediately rises. We know we are not seeing the consciousness outside. In dream and sleep, we are experiencing inside the consciousness. The consciousness is inside. How do you say it is outside? That is the question. First question. How you say outside? Because it is inside. Then he says, because of the relation between the object and knowledge. See, I think the very first day I told you a story. Creation of the individual self and the creation of God. I and mine are the creation of the individual self. Where are they? They are inside. So, even if the outside sun has passed away, but you have not heard the news, so inside sun, my sun is intact. You are happy. And he has not passed away, but you hear that somebody told your son passed away, some wrong news. So immediately you feel unhappy. Why? Inside the sun. My son passed away. Oh. That's why what I say, the I and mine are our own creations. If you are attached to a particular thing, the impression you are taking, it is already overpowered you. You are walking on a path. So many things you see. Do you think all the impressions you are going to take them? Because you are not attached. But if you meet a particular person whom you know, and after a long time you met him, and you are walking, even after coming to the room, you remember him. Why? That impression you have carried. So, though the things are there outside, as if the consciousness is outside, but it is only inside, in the form of impressions. For convenience sake, he says, Bahishprajna. So, the relation between the object and knowledge. Knowledge is inside, knowledge is not outside. If you meted here, you are not going to experience God somewhere in other place. Isn't it? That's why he says, Jagrati Sthana. Vaiswanara, possessed of consciousness of the exterior, 7 limbs, 19 mouths. 19 mouths in the sense, 19 doorways to enjoy the gross objects is the first quarter. Again, this first quarter is imaginary. So we'll proceed with the commentary. And not only further, he says the objects are outside, and because of ignorance, the objects are superimposed on the consciousness. That also he says. Jagaritam sthanam asyeti jagarita sthanaha. He whose seat is the waking state is called Jagrata Sthanaha. Bahishprajnaha swatma vyatирikte vishaye prajna yasya sa bahishprajnaha. Bahir vishaye prajna avidya krita avabhasataha ityartha. What is this Bahishprajna? He whose consciousness rests in objects other than his own self. Outside in the sense, other than the self. That much. Only two things, self and mind. Mind is inert, self is consciousness. An inert thing cannot be the consciousness, and consciousness thing cannot be an inert thing. Two separate things. You are consciousness. But where are the objects? In the mind, in the inert. So he says outer. Consciousness rests in objects other than his own self, meaning whose consciousness, being under the sway of ignorance, appears to embrace external objects as it were, as if, not actually. This is more important. Actually, it is not happening. As it were, he says. Why? Because of ignorance, he appears to embrace external objects. See. That's why again we have to go back. Only one thing is there. Only one consciousness. That is myself. Nothing is there. This particular first lesson you should never forget. First lesson, only one thing is there. Second, discrimination. Two things are not there. Remove all the inert things. And finally, try to remove the body consciousness by thinking. The more you go towards east, west will be off. Previously I told. The more and more you think of the Atman, the things will be drop off. The mind, the impressions, the body consciousness, the ego, I and mine, everything will drop off. That's why he says, as it were. Similarly, he has 7 limbs. According to the imaginary of Agnihotra indicated in Tatha Saptangani Asya Tasya Hava Etasya Atmano Vaisvanarasya Murdha Eva Suteja Chakshur Viswarupaha Prana Pratagvartma Atma Sandeho Bahulo Bastireva Raihi Prithvi Eva Padav. Here Vaisvanara is called Virat. That is combination of all the gross bodies. Combination of all the gross bodies. We come in across Gita, Viswarupa it is called. He has 7 limbs, he says. What are these 7 limbs? Mudha, head. Chakshu, eyes. Prana, vital force. Dhada, the middle portion. Basti, the kidney. And Prithvi, earth. And Mukha, the face. These things in Chandogya it comes. Here he says, Vaisvanara self, heaven indeed the head. So the all-pervading combination of the gross form, I think Hridayanji somewhere she has wrote that picture also, Virat Swarupa. He have sketched a Virat? No, not yet. Oh, I thought you have sketched. But somewhere I have seen, where I have seen, I don't know.
We have the Gita scene, but we don't have this one.
Oh. So, the heaven is the head for that Virat Swarup. Sun, the eye. Outside wind is the prana, vital force. Space, the antariksha between the heaven and the earth, the space, antariksha it is called. That he is called here space is the middle part from on which head, two hands and two legs are attached. Water, the bladder, the outside water we are having, here is a bladder or kidney, whatever you may call. At the feet. And Ahavaniya fire is the face. Beside the Ahavaniya fire is regarded as his face. Then the question comes, you are telling Saptangaha, all right. Ekona Vinshati Mukha, that is 5 sense organs, and 5 organs of, say, Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, perception and intelligence, whatever, Karmendriya and Jnanendriya and 5 pranas, Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankara comes to 19. Through these you enjoy. You take the outside objects, impressions. So he says this is called motar, dwara, doorway. Thus he who is possessed of these 7 limbs is called Saptanga. So here he has only given only these 7 things. Murdha, Chakshu, Prana, Dhada, Basti, Prithvi, and head, eyes, vital force, middle part, bladder, earth and Ahavaniya 5. 7 parts. And he says the space is the middle part, he says. Is it not? Why? Because of its all-pervasiveness. The space is all-pervading. And now there is you are telling the face is fire. Ahavaniya fire, you say. There are 3 types of fires. Dakshinagni and Ahavaniya, and another thing is that 3 types of fire. Garhapatya. So, there are the names. But here he says Ahavaniya fire. How is that? In Chandogya, it comes, whatever food is served, first you should offer it to prana. Om prana swa, apana swa, vyana swa, udana swa, mana swa. And then you just pour water, you offer. And after finishing also, you offer water. You offer water to the vital force. By that, you are giving close to the prana, the upper garment and lower garment. That's why he says, तद्यद्भाक्तं प्रथममागच्छेत् तद्धोमीयम् इति अग्निहोत्र कल्पना तस्या शेषत्वेन आहवनीयः. Otherwise, your prana is stark naked. If you don't offer in the beginning and in the end, your prana is stark naked. That's why those who contemplate on prana, they should offer food for it. That's why he says, in Chandogya it comes, Ahavaniya. Because, how the face? Because in the face you are offering for the vital force. That's why it is called face. Then he comes, here it is Ahavaniya. And in the combined Vaishvanara, what it is? It is his face. That is Vaishvanara Mukh. Now the question raises, you are telling very important point. You should always remember. He says, I am Atma Brahma. Brahman is not different from Atman. Afterwards in the commentary or in the original you will see, he never uses the word Brahman. Because already he told both are one. That is why the Adhyatma, that is which is in this particular body, and the Adidaiva, which is pervaded by all the gods, is one. Adidaiva is Virat, and Adhyatma is our own body. Why? Previously already he gave the logic. I am Atma Brahma. Only one Brahman is there, one Atman is there, one consciousness is there. See, the mind is trained in such a way, it always catches the diversity. So we have to concentrate it. We should focus it. Now sun rays are coming. You take a convex lens and all the rays are concentrated. You put it on a paper, paper burns. But as it is the paper you put there, sun will not burn. What happened? You have concentrated the rays. Gani Bhava. In the same way, from the beginning our mind is trained for diversity. Is it that? Now, you have to bring to the unity. Slowly. Then you can understand everything. Another thing also previously I told. In India, the Ganges started in Himalayas. And it runs and runs and runs and merges in sea, Ganga Sagar, near after Calcutta. So, if you want to take the water of the Ganga Sagar to the Himalayas, is it possible? In the same way, since the creation, you have been coming down and down and down and down. Only outside, 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 outside. Now you wanted to take this fellow to there. So you have to work hard. All the while you have been trained for the diversity. Now you have to train your mind for the unity. Yeah. That's why it may take few births, but it is possible. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudullabha. It's difficult, but it's there. Many saints we have seen that they see only consciousness, they see oneness. That is our aim, that is our goal, lakshya. Till we get that, don't stop. Next. Agnihotra kalpana sheshatvena ahavaniyo agnirasya mukham. It is just imagining that even the fire. So he says ahavaniya. Saptangani says saptangaha. Ekona vinshati mukhaha. Anyasya buddhindriyani karmendriyani cha dasha vayavasya pranadaya pancha. Sense of knowledge are sense organs of knowledge and sense organs of action. And then all these 5 A's as prana. Prana, pana, pana, samana, udana. And then mano, buddhir, ahankara, chittam. Only one mind is there. Why he has to divide into 4? See, the mind is always oscillating to do or not to do. Sankalpa, vikalpa. Whether I have to do this or not to do. Then only you have to discriminate. If I do this, I will get spiritual progress. If I don't do this, I will be regarded. That's why you have to discriminate. The mind always, like a pendulum. That's why it is called mind. And the intellect is the deciding factor. If I do this, I get good, I get spiritual progress. Deciding factor. And ego is ego. And then chitta is the storehouse of all the impressions you have been carrying from last lives. Not in this particular life. You have been carrying. Previously also I told minimum 7 births of impressions you are carrying in your subconscious mind. Conscious mind is very little. Approximately 1/8 portion. 7/8 portion is subconscious mind. In that you are carrying. That's why your mind never agrees with you, it never hears you. No commands are accepted. Why? The impressions are already there. Accordingly, Ishvara is goading the mind to go out. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridesejam tishtati. Even at times you see such a wonderful thing. With all the determination you wanted to do, but you cannot do. We should have such a strong determination. 3 sayings last time I gave. Do or die. Is it not? Now or never. Be and make. Be and make. First you be and then make. Be and make. Very simple. Huh? Now or never. Start now. Otherwise, you will not reach the goal. So, the ego and then the seat of awareness, it says, Chitta ahankara. Mano buddhir ahankar chitta. Mukhani eva mukhani. So these five pranas and the actions of knowledge and the senses of knowledge and sense organs of action, altogether 19. These are the mouths, since they are like mouths, the entrances of the perception, knowledge. Buddhirankar chittamiti mukhani eva mukhani tani upalabdhi dvarani ityartha. Since they are like the mouths, the entrances of perception, they are the cause to gather the information. The small children, just babies, 3-4 months they don't know what they are seeing. After they start seeing. See? Outside. It goes. Sa evam vishishto vaisvanaro yathoktay dvare sabdadin sthulan vishayan bhunkte iti sthula bhuk. Now he says, he, the Vaisvanara of these distinctions, is the enjoyer of gross objects, since he enjoys through entrances spoken of above, the gross objects such as sound, sabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, all these things. Every sense organ is having a particular object.
Can we translate when enjoyer, is it possible to translate it also as experiencer?
Why not?
Could be.
He are doer, enjoyer. But this doership and the enjoyership is superimposed. That's why in the beginning itself he told, these 4 quarters are imaginary. No 4 quarters, only one thing is there. They are superimposed. Since he leads all beings in diverse ways, he has become Vaishvanara. Vishvesham naranam anekadha nainat. He says, what he is doing? He leads all beings in diverse ways. So many ways he leads, he says. He has become Vaishvanara, or he is so called because he embraces the entire beings. He is in the form of entire beings. Vishvesham Vishwasyaso Narasya. Another word I explained like this. Sarvagnya. He knows everything. That's why Sarvagnya. Sarvasya Saugnyasya. He is in the form of everybody and he is in the form of knowledge. Sarvasya so. In the same way, Vishwasya so Narasya. Vishwanara eva Vaishwanara. In Sanskrit, the first letter, the first vowel, it changes. That's why it's called Vishwanara is same as Vaishwanara. As he is not different from all the gross bodies. Sarva Pindatma Ananyatva Sapradhama Padaha. He is not different, he says, from all the gross bodies. He is the first quarter, since through him first are known the succeeding quarters. his position becomes first. First waking, then dream, then sleep. That's why it's called first. His position becomes first. And this Vaisvanara, Sarvapindatma, he is the giver of fruits also, of all the actions. He is the giver of the fruits. He says, enjoyer or experiencer. What is this? Sukha dukkhanyatar anubhavo bhogaha. What he enjoys, whether sorrow or happiness, both. Then, here, the opponent says, Brahman is paroksha, that is not invisible. So how to understand? He says not so, that's why he told, I am Atma Brahma. He says, Soyam Atma Chatuspat. That it is not paroksha, it is not invisible, it is the experiencer, enjoyer. You know, I am enjoying. I cannot enjoy, see, if I am an inert thing. Inert thing cannot enjoy anything. Atman is not the enjoyer, true. It is not attached. But you have superimposed the mind on it and you become the enjoyer. Is it that? Atman is completely detached. For this, last time I told, Asango hi ayam purusha, the story of Prahlada I told. Asanga. Not at all attached to anything. That attachment you should develop now. Detachment, sorry. That detachment you should develop. Huh? Asparsha Yoga it is called. It comes, I think, in the end. Asparsha Yoga. Asparsha Yoga. Non-attachment. Get detached. So, in all the places, through all the time, Atman is always detached. It is we make the mistake. You may call ignorance, you may call attachment, you may call body consciousness, whatever you may call. But something is there. That's why through Shastra, through the scriptures, we want to know our own self, which is not attached to anything. Katham ayam Atma Brahma. Again he says, how is that this Atman is Brahman? Pratyega Atmanosa Chatuspatve Prakrute Dilokadinam Muddhadangatvam. This is the question. Atman, he says, it is limited in the body. Like that he is thinking. And you are telling, and its head is heaven. How is it possible? The topic under discussion is that the innermost self declared through the self is Brahman. 4 quarters. how can the heaven, etc., be described then as his limbs, such as head and the rest? He says, Naisha doshaha, nothing wrong. Why? Sarvasya prapanchasya sadidaivikasya anena atmana chatuspatvasya vivakshitatvat. For the purpose here is to show the entire phenomena, entire world, including the world of gods. Entire world means not that which we are seeing. Even the heaven, even the 7 upper lokas, as possessing 4 quarters on the basis of the self known as Virat. Nothing wrong. For the purpose here is to show the entire phenomena, including the world of gods, as possessing 4 quarters on the basis of the self. Which self? Known as Virat. See, the outer covers are different, but the inner stuff is same in everybody. So he is always pointing to the inner stuff, not the outer cover. Only one Atman is pervading everywhere in each and everybody. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashaya Stitaha Kshetrajñam Chapi Mam Vidhi Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. You heard? 13th chapter. See, Gita. 13th chapter.
How unconscious person, by this knowledge known as unconscious person that is unconscious, can also develop. He's in the dream state, he has senses, he has the body. So what is the difference between an unconscious person to a conscious person in self-development?
What do you mean by unconscious person?
If a person has no
Not having the knowledge.
story,
He is not having any knowledge.
have no connection with the outer world,
Oh.
but it's like in hospital.
Ah.
But they are saying that they are sense and some people that wake up say they
That in that particular state, the subconscious mind works. See, you are sleeping and you are not conscious of the body. But if a mosquito bites, it just takes out your hand without your consciousness. The subconscious mind, there it works. In that state, you see, towards the end, some development will be there before leaving the body, but not that. Before leaving the body, everybody gets consciousness. Because in scriptures it is told, through which path he has to go, where he is going, he knows, not ourselves. That's why he gets consciousness. The practices he did all through the life helps at that time. So, what is there in the subconscious mind, that works at that time. But most of the outside people, they don't understand where is he, what is he doing, but he understands, the individual who is passing away. But even in ordinary persons, the in sleeping state, that subconscious mind works. It is called in science asankalpita pratikara charya. Without any determination, consciousness works. Pratikara charya. The entire phenomena, including the world of gods as possessing four quarters, on the basis of the self, known Virat. In such a case, only the non-duality is established. See, again, non-duality is established. इत्यादि श्रुत्यत उपसंहृत्य एवं स्यात् अन्यथा ही स्वदेह परिच्छिन्न एव प्रत्यगात्मा सांख्यादिविरिव दृष्टः स्यात् तथा च सति अद्वैतमिति श्रुति कृतो विशेषो न स्यात् सांख्यादि दर्शनेन विशेषात्. In such a case, only the non-duality established by the removal of the entire phenomena. Self-dwelling in all beings is seen as one. All beings are seen as existing in the self. This, it comes in Isavasya. Then alone the meaning of the Suti, he who perceives all beings in the self. All beings in the self, self in the all beings. Vice versa. Will be conclusively proved, otherwise the innermost self, conditioned by one's own body alone, will be seen as in the case of Sankhyas. The Sankhya is a particular followers. They say the inert ignorance or Maya is the creator. First wrong step. What he says? The Maya or the ignorance is the creator. And what your consciousness is doing? It is detached. Good, it is detached. But there are so many individuals are there. This inert fellow Maya will be releasing them. He says, wonderful fellow. Huh? This inert ignorance gives the release for those individuals which you call Purusha. So he says so many Purushas are there and this Pradhana or Maya releases them. How it releases only he knows. Oh, if you confine to the body, your question is coming. Self conditioned by one's own body alone will be seen, as in the case of Sankhyas and the like, and in such a case the distinct experience that it is non-dual as sung by Shrutis will not occur, as it is in no way distinct from the philosophy of Sankhyas. So you are carried away by the wind of Sankhyas. That's why, see the oneness. Again come to the beginning. Self-dwelling in all beings is seen as one. All beings are seen as existing in the self. This you should not forget. Because why we should not follow Sankhyas? They talk against scriptures. But that will remove. One and all beings are seen as existing in the self. Now, they never follow scriptures. They never take the support of the scriptures. They tell whatever they think from through their mind. They imagine something. First thing, the individual consciousness is different from the mind. Mind gets its power of thinking because of the self. But they think always in the mental level, they never go beyond. And they never accept scriptures. That's why we should not follow them.
But Sankhya is a darsana, it's based on the Vedas.
It is a philosophy, but by that thinking in those lines, you will not be released. How ignorance can release a man? Ignorance or Maya. But he says,
Maya,
huh? Pradhana, Maya.
it's the discrimination between the Purusha and Prakriti.
That is true. But here you see, discrimination up to that it is all right. But he says there are many individuals, many Purushas, that you won't accept, scriptures does not accept. Huh? The outer cover also we see the same. Say, one blood is there, flesh is there, bones are there, marrow is there, and only one stuff Atman. Only how the differentiation has come because of the mind. So here he says simply how to remove the differentiation, remove different impressions of the mind. Everything is one. Where the difference has started, there you have to remove. But they go with the difference only, differences only. अतो युक्तमेव अस्य आध्यात्मिकस्य पिंडात्मनो दिलोक्यादंगत्वेन विराडात्मना अधिदैविकेन एकत्वम अभिप्रेत्य सप्तांगत्व वचनम. Again we have to go to the first verse. One Atman is there and everything is superimposed. Bas. No doubt at all. That he says, therefore, it is in fitness that for the identity of the self, in both its adhyatmika and adidaivika, having to do with the individual, having to do with the divine aspects, the former should be deemed to have 7 limbs in the form of heaven, etc. Because both are one. The identity of the self in both. That is the word he uses. Only one self is there. They are identical. That's why everything. This is again corroborated by the teaching such as your head would have fallen. What connection it is having? Huh? Your head would have been fallen. In Chandogya, while discussing Chandogya, this particular topic, I might have told, but we have not discussed this particular chapter because we started from Swetaketu and then Narada, and Indra and Prajapati. Before that, this particular topic comes. So, 6 sages or rishis, they had been to Uddalaka to know about this Vaiswanara Vidya, to meditate on the combined grass forms or combined grass bodies, Vishwanara or Vaiswanara Virat. No. This is Chandogya. So when they went, Ashwapati Kaikeyi was the teacher there. He's a king. The king says, I am performing an yajna, you be here, I will give you lot of money, other things, he says. Then they say, we have not come to see your yajna, we want to ask you something. All right. Then he says, first what you are doing, what you know, that you tell me. See, head is not man. Head belongs to a man. Head is not man. Head belongs to the whole body. So, there he says, one fellow is meditating on heaven as Vaiswanara. Then he says, it is only the head of the Vaiswanara. If you have not come to me, your head would have been fallen. Doctors say, oh, good, you have come 4 days earlier. After 4 days means much wrong must have happened. Doctors also say. In the same way, somebody is meditating on other limbs, as the sun, as Vaiswanara. Somebody on this other things. So he says, it is good that you have come, otherwise that particular organ would have been your head would have been fallen. This is Aswapati had said to the 6 Brahmanas, whom he found worshipping the head of Vaiswanara as Vaiswanara himself. Purpose of the story is to establish the unity between the Adhyatmika and Adidevika aspects of the self. Details of the story may be seen in chapter 5, Kanda 12. We started studying from chapter 6. That is the connection. So, both are one, he says. Then, here opponent again asks a question. All right, we have to meditate everything as one, that is good. So, Ishyate cha sarvopanishadam sarvatmaikya pratipadakatvam. That is the 3rd line. Self-dwelling in all beings is seen as one, and all beings are seen as existing in the self. Is it not? So in this connection, the opponent asks, this is for meditating as Annam Brahma. He says, the food is Brahman. Can we meditate like this? He says. You say, the self dwelling in all is Brahman. So, can I meditate like this? Then he says, Sarveshu deheshu atmekatva pratipadana paratvam ishtam atana dhyanarthatvam. You should have the knowledge. Meditation is not necessary, he says. See, after knowing that there is no snake on the rope, what you are going to do? Huh? Are you going to break your head? Nothing to do. Kalam jam na bakshayet. He says. In scripture, it is a negative saying, negative form of saying. The flesh, which is you got from the poisonous arrow. Poisonous arrow. Somebody has put an arrow on poison and he has hit a particular animal and that has died. So he says that is called kalamjam. Don't eat because poison has spread and the animal has died. If you eat, the poison, you see how it works. In Rishikesh, near Lakshman Jula, a little beyond, some 60 years, 70 years back, so many people were not there, and some small, small caves you should be there in the mountain. So one of the pilgrims, he was walking, and suddenly he saw elephant is coming behind. Elephant. So he has just entered into a cave in simplicity. And what does the elephant? Elephant through its nose searching. Trunk. And there was a big scorpion. So the scorpion has bitten the trunk of the elephant. The elephant simply came behind, sat, that's all. But that fellow was so much afraid. Till morning he did not come out. Early morning he came out and saw whether the elephant is still living or died or what happened, let me see. So he just kicked it. And his leg went inside his flesh. That means the poison of the scorpion, big scorpions, black scorpions used to be there in the forest. So this whole body has become poisonous. And this fellow also died after 1 month, after 1 year. Because just some poisonous touch, not how it has entered, only God knows. See. That's why kalam jana bakshayet. So the poisonous flesh you should not eat. You got the knowledge. What you are going to do after that? You got the knowledge. You will not go there, you will not take it. Bas. Nothing to do, no action afterwards. You keep away. In the same way, when you have determined that the world is only a supreme portion, it is not there in my Atman, then what you are going to do? The confirmation. Then why practice? That still you think, I am having the body consciousness, I am having these desires, these impressions in mind. To remove them, you do something. But constantly thinking on the oneness also, they can be removed. Afterwards, no action, no karma. After knowing. That's why knowledge. He says, Sarveshu deheshu atma ekatva pratipadana paratvam istam. Previously also I told. How you understand that your mind is purified? Whatever you are meditating, whatever you are thinking, that you see everywhere, the Atma. then your mind is purified. Same thing he is telling. Sarveshu deheshu atma ekatva pratipadana paratvam ishtam atah na dhyanarthatvam vastu paratvam. The stuff or the consciousness. So, you are already that. Vastu paratvam. I am Atma Brahma. You are already that. Then what to do? The outer cover you should remove. The cover, it may be impressions, it may be wrong thinking, it may be thinking of the body, whatever it may be. These things here. Or the opposite way of thinking. How can I be Brahman? All these things. That is the cover. You have to uncover. The thing is already there. So in that particular place, they say knowledge alone works. So no karma kanda, or say you need not do any actions to get some result, all these things. Now, viraja ekatvam upalakshanartham. It is, you are telling, all the gross bodies are one with the Vaisvanara. Is it not? That is to indicate the meaning, upalakshanartham. What you want to, Hiranyagarbha avyakritatmano. If all the gross bodies are one, and they are not different, your gross body is not different from them. How? It is also superimposed, this is also superimposed. Underlying support is one. Then afterwards, all these subtle bodies are one. Your subtle body is one with them. Why? Both are superimposed. No. This is Virat. Next is Hiranyagarbha. And then next is Ishvara, Avyakta. Ishvara. He is having Maya as his power, and you are having as ignorance. Ignorance and Maya are one. Both are superimposed on Brahman. That's why he says, to indicate. What you want to indicate? That all the three gross, subtle and causal bodies are one with Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha and Virat. Both are just superimposed. The identity of Vishwa with Virat pointed out above is to indicate the identity of Hiranyagarbha and Avyakta, then manifested. Uktam Chaitanya cha yetan madhubrahmane escha ayam asyam pruthivyam tejomayo amrutamaya purusho yeschayam adhyatmam. He says in Madhubrahmana it is said, the brilliant and immortal Purusha who is in the earth, in this earth, and so also the brilliant immortal corporeal Purusha in the body, all this is but the self. Scriptures, they always tell only one thing. Only one thing is there. So they tell only one thing. You take that scripture or this scripture from. And at times, they tell about the creation as the superimposition, and afterwards they remove it. That's all. Then now, he says, the Atman is not having any form. It is formless. Nirupasya kidrishi pratibimbaha. The opponent asks. Now, because of ignorance, you are telling I and mine. And you may tell that on the Atman, and just now I told you, you have superimposed the mind. And you are telling I. And some people, they do say that the Atman is reflecting on the mind. But there is no form in the Atman. It is formless. How it reflects? The same question was asked in Brahma Sutra also. There he says, as the sky is not having any form, but children say it is blue in color. Where from it has come? The blue color has been superimposed on the sky by children, which is not having any form. In the same way here also. Nirupasya kidrishi pratibimbaha. But the reflection is unreal. This you should remember. Or some people they say it is mere appearance. As we see the snake on the rope, it is appearance. Actually it is not there. That also they say. That's why Yaschayam asyam pruthivyam tejomayo amrutamaya purusho yaschayam adhyatmam. Antaryami, yesterday also I told. It is also called Brahman. Antaryami is also called Brahman. So the Antaryami is there within you. Your body is his body. You don't know that somebody is there within you. He is controlling you from within, but you don't know. That is called Antaryami. Why? Because domination of Chaitanya is, consciousness is Ishvara, and domination of adjunct is Antaryami. Because in every adjunct it says, it is there inside. The body of the earth is the body of the Antaryami. The Antaryami is controlling the earth from within. But the earth does not know that somebody is there that is controlling. Human beings also, most of the human beings, they don't know. Something is there which is controlling us. यश्चायम अस्याम पृथिव्याम तेजोमय अमृतोय पुरुषो यश्चायम अध्यात्म इत्यादि सुषुप्त अव्याकृतयोस्तु एकत्वं सिद्धमेव निर्विशेषत्वात्. It says, the sushupti, the deep sleep, and the Ishvara, without name and form. Ishvara is there, the Brahman, he has taken an outer cover Maya and is called Ishvara. It is only the seed form of the whole world. Name and forms have not come out. Name and forms are not come out. Though so, before the formation of the name and form, it is called avyakta. So here you see, you don't know that you are sleeping. Only after waking up you say, I slept well. Avyakta. But all your impressions of the waking state, dream state, and all the impressions which are in conscious mind, in subconscious mind, everything is concentrated there. Everything is there. As soon as you get up, everything comes out. So it is called avyakta. In the 7th sloka it comes, na pragyam, na pragyam, na pragyana ghanam. About the Atman is going to tell you. But here, shrupta avyakritiyostu ekatvam siddhameva. The deep sleep state and the state of Ishvara, they are one. That is quite clear, he says, evam sati eta siddham bhavishyati sarvadvaita upasamecha advaitamiti. When all the duality is dissolved, only oneness pervades. So dissolved duality, not in the relative plane, but in the your say meditation or contemplations, you should think like that. Now, the Vedanta, it gives an example of just appearance. What appearance? A snake on the rope. All right. You have seen the rope, you have determined that there is no snake, then you are realized. Are you realized? See, you know, you have known that there is no snake on the rope. By that, are you going to experience yourself, Atman? No. That means that is the ignorance, no doubt. Ignorance of the rope has gone. Or the snake. Because you thought that the rope is snake. So we say the ignorance regarding rope has gone. But the original ignorance that I am the body, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, how these things will go? Only completely removing the ignorance. So the example is only in appearance, but in the relative plane, you should be able to see the oneness. Then only the ignorance is removed. There, in the example, it is superimposed. Here, on the Atman, the whole world is superimposed. So the superimposition is common. But there, the ignorance of rope is gone. Here, if you are able to see that everything is superimposed, the whole world on Atman, then the real ignorance will go. Then only you can experience. And in such a case, it becomes established, consequent on the cessation of all duality, there follows non-duality. Cessation of all duality. Now, at times you see, dreams indicate something. But dream is unreal. And dream is only an appearance. The apparent dream or the unreal dream indicates something which is relatively real, or in the relative plane it indicates something. Dream is unreal, but it indicates something regarding the relative plane. So in the relative plane, if you are able to think that everything is superimposed, you can go to the absolute. Appearance, relative world and the absolute world. So the example is in the appearance connected to the relative plane. But here in day-to-day life, the relative world should be connected to the absolute. That's why he says, in such a case, it becomes established that consequent on the cessation of all duality. On the cessation of all duality, there follows non-duality. Then the fourth stanza comes, Swapnasthano Antaprajnaha Saptangaha Ekonavimshati Mukha Pravivikta Bhuk Tejaso Dvitiya Padaha. What is the second quarter? He is telling. In the previous sentence was told, there follows non-duality. Because some obstructions are there. That may be the I-ness, or maybe the attachment to the world, or the ego, or the desire. Something is there which is obstructing us for the experience of oneness. Then how to remove? He says, I am Atma Brahma. And know the meaning through the teacher, master. Then you will realize. That's why in the previous sentence, evam cha sati etat siddham bhavishyati. See, here he says in the English meaning, and in such a case it becomes established the consequent on the cessation of all duality, there follows non-duality. But in the original, evam cha, cha means and. How do you explain this and? So, the further commentator says, the cha means some obstruction is there that can be removed by the Mahavakya, hearing the meaning through the master. Evam cha, then you will get the oneness. See how the subcommentator connects the subject. So, in the Bhashya, not even a single letter is waste. Cha, cha, not our regular tea, cha. Why you have used it, cha? Why this Bhashyakara should use cha? The meaning is clear. Evam sati. Eta siddham bhavishyati. Sarvadvaita upashamecha advaitam. But that's why the subcommentator says cha. Subcommentator explains. some obstruction is there, that is removed through the Mahavakya, and that explanation you should take to the master, then only the ignorance evades. That's why the great master Shankaracharya, Bhagavad Pad uses cha, he says. Anyhow. Mahavakya and the meaning to the teacher. स्वप्नस्थानो अंतःप्रज्ञ सप्तांग एकोनविंशति मुखः प्रविविक्त भुक् तैजसो द्वितीय पादः. The self seated in the state of dream and called Tejasa, possessed of consciousness of the interior. There he told exterior. But again he has explained that is only interior. Now he specially says interior. 7 limbs, 19 mouths, enjoy the subtle objects is the second quarter. Now, see, this interior, he says, why we see an object, we take the impression in the mind, and afterwards also we think of it. If you deeply think, the same thing will be coming into your dream. So it is subtle. Gross objects are not there. In the dream, no objects. The seer is the Atman and the object becomes the mind. The mind with its impressions, it creates all the objects. Just appearance, that's all. Because inside the body, when you close the eyes, how the mountains and all these things can be there. But just they appear in dream. That's why it is called subtle. Interior. Pravivikta book. It is called Tejasa, consciousness of the interior, that is Sukshma book. He says Saptanga, Antaprajna, Pravivikta book. He enjoys all these subtle things, not the gross things. Then, how you are seeing the dream? Who is the seer there? The witness. What is the witness? Atman. Again and again I say, eyes are closed, lights are off, but you see the light in the dream. The light of Atman. That is Swayam Prakasha Jyoti Swarupa Atma. Swayam Jyoti Brahmana. We are not. Yajnaval Kanda, only one chapter we did. Nalge chesam. So, Swaprasthanam asya Tejasasya Swaprasthanaha. And in the dream, you are there as witness. And you are seeing so many things. How is it possible? He says, the support is as it is. And because of the, say, mistake or ignorance, you see so many things, he says. Doshavashad rupantarena kathanam, he says. Nothing is changed there. So he says it appears. Swapnasthanam asiti chesase swapnasthanam jagrat prajna aneka sadhana bahir vishaya iva avabhasamana manaspandana matra sati tata bhutam sanskaram manasi adhatte. He says, dream is the seat of Tejasa, is called Swapnasthana. The consciousness during the waking state associated with many means and possessed of the nature of the mental vibration appears as though associated with the external objects and creates corresponding impressions in the mind. The external objects, they are creating corresponding impressions in the mind. That he says. Tan manah tatha sanskrutam chitritaiva pato. In Panchadasi it comes. In Panchadasi. So a cloth is there, and in that, for the stiffness, they dip in rice water, boiled rice water. It becomes stiff. Then he started painting so many things you see. All, say, forests, animals, flowers, fruits, everything you see, with different colors he paints. For all these things, what is the support? The screen behind. Without screen, you cannot see the art. So, that he reminds, Chitrita iva pato, that a painting on a cloth. There, outside painting on a cloth. Here, painting on your mind. All the things, whatever you see, whatever is there inside, that only comes. It may be of this birth or of the previous birth. Whatever is inside, that alone comes. But the impressions, they intermingle. That's why you see something different. That's all. That is called Chittitya Pato Vahi Asadhananapeksham Avidya Kama Karma Viperimanam Jagradvad Avabhasate. And nothing is necessary, no means to see a dream. What you are taking there, nothing. And then avidya kama karma mein bhi, ignorance, actions and desires. These are the cause to see the and while seeing the dream, it appears as if you are in waking state. After waking only you say it is a dream. That's why he says, Jagradvad avabhasate tatha cha uktam asya lokasya sarvavato matram apadaya. The mind thus endowed with the impressions like a canvas with painting appears in the state of dream just as in the waking state without depending on any external means, impelled by ignorance, desire and action. See, avidya kam karma. So too has been said by the Sriti, he draws a part of the impressions, the all-powerful world of waking state. Of the waking state, he draws a part, he says. Matram upajivanti. Just he takes a part, he says. See, the enjoyer is the superimposed Atman. Is it not? The enjoyment is coming from the Atman only. But the enjoyment is 0.0001% only. See, whatever you are enjoying here in the waking state or in dream state is 0.0001%. Then what is 1%? Joy of Brahman. That is why he says matra, very little speck. When you compare yourself with the sun, you are lesser than a speck. A football is, say, imagine as the sun, and a grain of food is the earth, and in that where you are? Speck. So in the same way, the Atman is so much pervading. And out of that, little enjoyment. Yesterday I told you the snake story. Ambrosia is there. It is not taking that. What it is taking taking the flies that are coming. Bas. There ends the life. Impelled by ignorance, desire and action. So, when this desire is not there, when impressions are not there, what you are meditating, what you are thinking, what you are, say, you are reflecting, that alone will come in your dream. Till that, you should do vichara. Discriminate, he says. So too has been said, when he dreams, he draws a part of the impressions of all-powerful world. Brihadaranyaka also. In Atharva Sruti, Prashnopanishad, it has been said, all these senses are unified in the highest deity, the mind. Here, in the dreaming state, this deity enjoys greatness. That he says. So, asya lokasya sarvato matram apadaya pare deve manasi eki bhavati iti prastutya atra yesha deva swapne mahimanam anubhavati. And you are seeing the impressions of the mind as a dream. That's why you are seeing the mind only, but you are not experiencing the Atma. One point. So, the Atman there, sarva sadhana sampattir asmin asti iti sarvavans tasya matra lesho vasana tamadaya swapna rupena pranita mana sakshino vishayo bhavati. So the mind is enjoying a small impressions of the mind. In that, your Atman becomes the witness. So other things are there that we will do tomorrow. Om Bhadram Karane Bhishuniyamade.